Hey guys, welcome back to Nerd Rant. I'm Dr. Zombrain, also known as Seth, with my co-host
JK Junior Wolf, and here's a popping of a Coke can if I can get my finger under the tab.
Boo, you didn't drag out your name long enough.
I dragged out your mom. Anyway,
two announcements first. One, I've reached over 110,000 views. I know I keep saying this, but that is just so awesome to see. I'm so happy. Two, because if you're a true fan of the channel, I finished God of War 2018, one of my first proper sit-downs, and I've actually not only finished it, I am now going back and playing New Game Plus, trying to complete all the little side collection things.
Aw, Seth finished his first real story game.
Hey, to be fair, I did finish Spider-Man, but that also took me so much time, and I was also just goofing around.
Everyone and their
with
grandma
easy
finished
mode.
Spider-Man, so...
I know, I'm just saying, I have completed story game before.
Yep.
And technically, I've completed Minecraft.
He's growing up
Story
so
mode.
much.
Hey, JJ, question, when did Minecraft story mode come
2016.
out? Pretty sure you're right, because we probably asked this how many times throughout the year.
Anyways, that's not what today's episode is about, guys.
It's about this small indie game that just came out.
You've made that joke
Huge,
like every
huge.
episode
It's
as
gonna
well.
have so much lore based on the crappy graphics, right? Like, the crappy graphics are gonna... Just kidding, we're talking about Fortnite. Bro. Guys, wait, actually, in the comments, do me a favor, because I need help. Give me some more original jokes, because I couldn't think of the same three every episode.
It's like,
Give me
at
some
what
jokes.
point are they going to get tired of hearing the same jokes over and over again, and they're just going to skip the Fortnite episode?
Oh, but doesn't that make the beginning more funny? Because then you roast me about making the same
then
joke.
It's like, oh, cringe, he's doing the same thing, unoriginal, how dare.
I mean, to be fair, we're doing a podcast in 2024. That's not exactly original
That's
either.
very true.
Anyway, no, we're talking about Fortnite. We got a whole bunch of updates on the game modes. Nothing new about Disney, right? I haven't seen anything. Have you seen anything about Disney?
Nope.
Okay, we're probably not going to be getting that, but just if there is something, we'll keep you updated. But yeah, we're going to talk about the game modes, a little bit about the season, but more so we're not next season, because guess what? We actually have hope.
Oh my
That's a joke.
Ha ha ha.
That's a joke. That's a reference. We're talking about that later. Let's talk about these game modes first, JJ. How about
so
that?
I think we should start with Festival, obviously. It's like the second biggest one of the Battle Royale. So, Festival.
And not just that, that's like the one I see. I don't know if you see a lot of tier lists. People have been ranking the season, the game modes, and I generally see Festival at
I
one
mean,
of
it's
the
because
top
it's
two.
constantly been getting new content, right? Because like
Yeah, well, not just
Rocket
that,
Racing hasn't got
but,
any new maps. It's just like...
No, it's gotten some new maps lately.
Yeah.
It just had a whole... Did you not just see the entire
Let me
huge speedrun thing?
rephrase. Let me rephrase. Any new themed maps? We get new maps, but they're
Did we?
still
Yeah.
like caverns.
Generally,
and,
like
yeah.
caverns or the forest or whatever.
And then like a
but I
Fortnite
think
hasn't
it's
had a ton of
also-
like new like stuff to do, like
Yeah.
updates, quality of life stuff, and new items added, but nothing new in your typical linear playthrough.
I think the other thing, though, is the fact that Festival has that bonus of being current.
It is.
Right? Like, racing is fun and all, but like current racing thing, it's like, oh, new car. It's not exactly a new car that came out in 2024. It's just whereas music is constantly updated. We can hear it. Lady Gaga has her new new songs,
Yeah.
this, that. More chances to be hyped. But yeah, let's go into that.
Yeah, so we have our new Fortnite Festival Pass. As Seth already said, Lady Gaga is the person. What's the title we use for that? The featured artist, I guess.
I think that's good
Yeah.
because, like, we're going to have her. We'll probably have more of her songs throughout. And then also the start of the season, we had a lot of her songs.
Yeah, so Lady
featured.
Gaga is the featured artist for this season. What is your opinion on the skin to start off?
Which one?
The Festival Pass specifically.
Festival Pass. Okay. I forget who it said. It's generally, not bad, not good. I just generally feel like a lot of these icon skins just are kind of except the YouTuber ones or the
I
streamer
agree.
because they're like accurate to that person. Whereas where the like these sports people, where are they getting this medieval knight costume or this futuristic soldier? Like, where is that patch? You know what I mean? Like, and that goes for Lady Gaga too. It's just kind of like, where is this coming from?
I believe these are actual outfits she has worn in like a music video or concert or something along those lines, because I did hear from several different people that is like, oh, that's the Lady Gaga look. And I'm like, I've never seen that before, but okay.
Take your word for it, yeah.
But I'm pretty much on the same page as you there, where it's like, it looks like Lady Gaga. Like, I can tell it's Lady Gaga, and it looks like something she'd wear, but the skin itself isn't that interesting. So maybe if you're a good fan of Lady Gaga, you'd be interested, but for me, it's just meh.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad per se either compared to other ones. It's just kind of generic. I do want to say with what you just said, though, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize this, you are not forced to buy the pass. The pass is specifically for people that like that artist, and you get their songs, something that like an instrument related to them, and then that skin.
Mostly.
We talked about that with these events. Mostly, yeah. But like we talked about these events. When JJK came out, I loved it because I like JJK, but you're saying they're all generic and the same. It's like, well, yeah, same thing with Attack on Titan. If you don't care, nobody's forcing you to like buy these skins. But if you do, here's that opportunity. So if I don't care about Lady Gaga that much, so yeah, I'm not going to buy the pass. I'm going to get the free stuff, but I don't care. But if you do like Lady Gaga, here's your opportunity to not only get songs, instruments related to her, etc., etc.
I do still think that it'd be nice if it was a little cheaper, just because, you know.
Oh, the price is still.
Yeah, it's 1,800 V-Bucks still, and I get it. Like, it's basically 2 bundles worth of items for the price of 1 bundle. But
I mean, it's still cheaper, right? It's still significantly cheaper. When we just look at the music pack itself, that's
but
already
none of
like
this stuff
3K.
has come to the shop yet. None of the stuff from the previous pass, none of that kind of thing. So we don't know if it's exactly coming into the shop later. Like, it's obviously still open to that, but not guaranteed. And so as of now, it's like 1,800 V-Bucks for maybe 4 songs, 2 instruments, and a skin, which...
And then all the auras, loading screens, etc.
It just doesn't seem as good, especially when the songs that are in this pass are so obscure. Like, Breaking Me by A7S.
Yeah,
like
this one's definitely worse.
Last one we had like a Fall Out Boy song that was
we had
crazy.
Fall Out and Gangnam Style.
Like those are good ones to put in, you know, your upgraded tier, you know, popular songs. And then we have 3 obscure songs that not many people have heard, with one Lady Gaga song in there, which seems shocking to me. I feel like they would have put more in there, but
yeah. So it's whatever. I think what's more interesting, though, is Destiny not the pass. However, I don't know if you noticed, when you look in the item shop, there's actually like a proper festival pass section now.
Yep, you can see an icon,
so I do like
kind of
that.
like the Battle Pass upgrades
like
and
Pass.
crew.
So I like that. I did see some talk about adding it to the crew. Still think that's a good idea, but we haven't seen that yet. However, this is still new. This is only Season 2. Look at what BR went through and how many seasons it evolved.
Yeah.
So it's still new. Let's give it another season or 2 to really, really judge it. I think by summer next year, that's when we... Or no, end of the year. I'm thinking we're later in the year.
Yeah.
By like end of summer. I think that's like a fair point to really judge it.
Yeah.
As it gets some kinks, because it just had some changes with the season on Overdrive, which I'm excited, hoping that they fix some more, because it's still kind of annoying and it feels like it messes me up more often than not. But yeah, they're changing it. They're working on it. Another thing that I'm excited to see is they reset the leaderboards. So leaderboards are per season. However, they did also say they've kept the data, and they're working on making a huge leaderboard. So I don't know if it's maybe like the Unreal one, where you can see all the seasons so far. Like I can go back to OG, Season 0, and I can see all the leaderboards. Maybe it's going to be like that, just more spread out per instrument, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Anyways, would you rate this pass better or worse than the weekend one?
Worse.
Worse? I'd agree. I'd say it's worse. I think in terms of the free pass, this one's so much better, because not only does it contain more stuff rather than like loading screens and stickers, like we got 2 emotes in there. We got 2 new
some auras
instruments. Yeah, we got an aura in there and 3
However,
songs.
I will say, yes, but banana guitar.
Banana guitar. But yeah, I think this one is better in terms of the free, but overall it's a little worse.
Anyway, we got a crap ton to go on about. So which one do you want to talk about first? Do you want to go about Lego first?
Yeah, let's hop on to Lego. So in terms of Lego Fortnite itself, there haven't been that many actual changes. They've definitely been like taking care of it. It's had some bug fixes, and some items were added.
So you could actually shift into the chest? Oh my god, I haven't even played, but like that is something that like I was just like, why don't we have this?
But yeah, some small quality of life things. But the big important thing that happened with LEGO is that they published 2, obviously Epic-made creative games that were using LEGO Fortnite UEFN, which I have played the obby one that they published. Seth has not played either yet. But this is a good sign because that means they are testing it and it's almost ready to be published for everyone to use, you know. Obviously, it's still a bit experimental. I went in there and it was performing okay at first, and then after like 15 minutes, my ping was fine, but somehow I was rubber banding all over the place. So in terms of stability, it's not great. However, it looked nice. It performed well. It felt like good. It still stayed true to the LEGO style. And they were also teasing some, you know, LEGO collabs coming up. Like there was a whole like Ninjago section. They had like LEGO Friends stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Dreams series. There's a bunch of stuff in there. But yeah.
Yeah, I know I told you before we started. It's like I didn't play because I just don't really care. But it's not because I don't fully care. I just don't care about these maps. But I am looking forward to see where this goes. So when it does become live, that is something I very much will actively check out. Just right now, it's still just kind of I'm waiting for proper content updates, and then I'll probably check it out. Because for right now, there hasn't been anything added. However, we do got to realize there's been a lot of stuff in the files that have been added, and there's definitely content coming. We just have to wait. I think that's really it
for LEGO, probably.
Right?
Then we have
Rocket Racing.
Rocket Racing.
However, while we do this, I'm looking because when you mentioned UEFN, I forgot. Did you see the roadmap for UEFN for BR?
No, I did not.
There's a roadmap for this year for some stuff. So I'm scrolling through. No idea what it is. I don't know if I'll find it. But while you talk about Rocket Racing, I'm going to try to find it.
Okay, so Rocket Racing has had a few little updates. Again, nothing huge humongous, really. They added a couple maps. They added a new kind of game mode for it. Speedrun, which is basically just solo or I think with a couple other people, you can race around the track and just try and get the best time is basically what it is. There's no ranked mode for that. It's just literally a leaderboard as far as I know. And then they also added some new challenges. We have the standard racing challenges, which give you boost smoke as a trail in different colors when you complete them. However, they are hefty challenges, I'll tell you what.
I wanted to complete them, and I still have a week. I don't know if I'm going to complete them. Like, I want to, but it's just such a grind.
I've played a good bit, and as of now, like, activate turbo while in a drift. 12 of 250. Activate turbo bonus zones while in a drift. 8 of 200. Beat other players' total in races, which, you know, should be one of the easier ones. 130 of 500.
Because guess what? When you get higher ranks, you have less people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing people play, like, Elite Champion. You literally are playing with 3 people, including yourself. If you have to play how many matches where you only beat 2, that's 3 minutes, that takes how many days, practically?
Yeah, then they also added some ranked challenges, like, just complete races in the tier that you're at, and you get some extra smokes as well. So, you know, they've added some stuff, and then for the speedrun kickoff, they added another boost trail, or not boost trail, drift trail.
Which, if you want to talk about that as well, because we had multiple new cosmetic types for Rocket Racing. Do you want to talk about that? No, I thrown out of my recents. All right, we're going to try Hypex now. We're just going to specifically scroll on Hypex. Here's the problem. Anime Awards just happened, and everyone has been tweeting how many times the last 2 days about this thing. So it's so many things I have to scroll through.
Yep. So for Rocket Racing, they have added the new cosmetic type of the drift trail. Drift trail.
Drift trail.
So while you're drifting, there'll be a trail behind your tires. Right as of now, we only have the standard smoke and the, quote, classic, which is just like a colored streak behind your tires. But you can earn those new ones by playing the speedrun mode, and obviously there will be more coming to the shop later. But yeah, that was a fun new cosmetic to see. I have a feeling they're going to try and add one more just to try and kind of round out the 6 tile theme they have going on for the locker. But who knows at this point? I don't know how far down the line that would be. We also got the distro car. I don't really know anything about cars, so do what you will with that information. But they're still adding some. We also got the Jagger 619.
Found it.
Okay, cool. I can stop stalling.
By
Go ahead.
Googling. So there's not really much. However, I do just want to quickly mention, to finish off Rocket Racing, it is kind of rough because, again, we have to mention this every time. I don't want to. The item shop has been terrible this season. And just adding more and more cosmetic types that are just going to rotate out is not great. It's like, I'm okay with it. Just separate it, right? To either use a racing currency or just separate the item shops. It's just kind of
honestly, yeah. I think the best thing they could do is separate the item shops. Kind of like how if I go into the festival mode, I can't see the battle pass, right? I can't see the battle royale battle pass. It shows me just the festival pass. Do that for the shop so that depending on which mode I have selected, I see a different shop that just shows me those items. Like they already are partially doing that where like if I'm in racing mode, the cars will appear at the top of the item shop. So just make it so I can't see everything else because it really doesn't matter in racing mode what skin I'm wearing, right? So I just feel like it's such a waste of space to have everything still there that I would have to scroll through. Just give each thing its own individual shop that, you know, I can see more condensed forms of everything and just everything on a rotation because it's ridiculous how all of this season pretty much we had the weekend in the shop just there the entire
that's
time.
I feel like it's gonna be different because no matter what the item the festival skin is, we're probably gonna keep that in the shop that entire season because obviously you left almost instantly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like also we've had the Ninja Turtle stuff in the shop since the collab started, and that's just been there the entire time. Jam tracks barely rotating in the
have
shop.
You noticed that they still say new?
Yep, they still say new.
Like they're not new. Like I don't even know what's new, what the like organization is. It's just here's like 3 pages of songs.
We've had Lewis Hamilton in the shop for a while. The only like
he's only been there for like a day or two.
Really? I've seen him like all season.
Bro, I could guarantee he's only been there for like at most 3-4 days.
Then I've gone psychotic. Well, the point is, we've only had like 1 to 3 different tabs that actually cycled throughout the season,
and then even then, they're not daily tabs. We don't have a daily or feature tab. Our feature tab is like here's like original stuff, but then it's not original. It's really bad. I don't want to talk too much longer because we do have a lot more to cover about. But yeah, just want to mention the item shop has not been fixed, and it is getting worse with more cosmetic types. But anyway, creative. So here's a public roadmap for Q1 2024. So we're going to be getting... I'm just going to read all these squares off because they're different things. New content template. New camera. I think these are different quarters of the year. Yeah. New camera view template. New item trading template. New physics template. Sets templates. Core tech. We're going to get score graph, experimental, and minimal lobby. And then these are all creation tools. Orbit cam, general physics, state-based gameplay, custom game items, item trading, social links, proximity chat, text chat, custom quests, device rebuild using screen graph, and then publishing tools, improved analytics, personalized discovery, and follow a creator.
Good.
So that is this year.
Nice. Those are honestly some pretty big features.
Even just the chat stuff, social link, proximity chat, text chat, all that's great, but we also see that we're going to be able to get our own types of RPGs and stuff with item trading and quests and all that kind of stuff. So definitely hope, like I was saying, with Lego Creative, it's not that I don't care, it's just there's nothing now, and I know what's to come. Because let me tell you, do you know what else I'm still waiting on? Freaking UEFN to come to console.
Yeah.
It's rough out here. But anyway, that's really the only creative updates. We've had some other stuff like items added, tools updated, and I try to go in. And after this whole UI change in like the setting tab and like locker, the UI for creative sucks. And I know that's not just me who hasn't played in a while. Even the people that do creative do not like the UI. So that's another thing why I'm waiting for UEFN. I'm hoping that the UI can be a little better.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Creed. I think that's really it. We talked about Festival, we talked about Race, and we talked about Lego and Creed.
Last thing. The crew. What do you think of the crew?
Let's talk about one more game mode first, because I do just want to quickly mention Save the World. Because it's so sad.
It is. Save the World is such a sad existence.
It's so good, yet they don't even care enough to do a blog post for it. They made a Reddit blog post instead of on their account. Like, and also this is apparently one of the first seasons in a while. Not seasons, but like first beginning of chapter seasons, like season 1 seasons, where we didn't get like a mid-season somewhat update. Like when we go into the new year, generally get something. We haven't gotten anything this year. Very sad. Maybe we'll get something, because guess what? There's some ramifications to Save the World, which we can talk about later. But the crew pack. I know you said it's cool, right? But I gotta be honest. Okay, so it's Kat, right? It's Kit's little sister. However, can Kat do this? Activate the emote where I roll into myself and I just jam out to all.
I mean, obviously
can
not,
Kat do
but
that?
It's
no,
Kat.
That makes Kit better. But here's my other question. Does that mean we're going to get a Mr. Beast bar because we're getting into candy because now we have Kit Kat?
Sigh.
It's alright. I like the pickaxe.
Yeah.
Skin. The legs feel so weird. It feels like some very female, like, robot legs that I see in, like, a lot of these video games or something.
It is a female robot, so yeah.
It is. It's just weird seeing that as my skin now.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I really like it. I think this is one of my favorite crew packs, simply because, obviously, Cat, but also the aesthetic of, like, the blue and kind of silvery robot is awesome. Yeah. And did you look at the extra styles? That second style is awesome.
I don't really like what they've done with the styles, but I don't think I can do anything. And that's just because, like I said, and I kind of guessed this at the beginning, is gonna get old. We just unlocked the Galaxy style for the first one, right? And when we keep going every month now, I'm just, here's another Galaxy. Now, I'm looking forward to Hybrid specifically, because I get that dual-wielded pickaxe for the back bling and pickaxe. But other than that, it's just going to feel generic. It's like, here's another gold thing, as if I don't already have all this gold stuff.
I think it's going to be a case of each one is going to have the one that it looks good with, but I am always going to be excited for the second style, because the second one is going to be unique to the skin.
Original.
And
it is a
so far,
style,
the second style has almost always been my favorite for each of the crew packs, especially this one.
Yeah. 1 and 2, it's all right. Like I like having some of the extra cosmetics and back blings. But again, I do wish, because even if they only did super styles for all of them, couldn't we, like, throw some prismatic in here for some of them? Like, cycle through? Like, we could have done the photo negative one for some of them. I love that blue. So, it's alright, but like I said, I predicted this. I'm getting tired of it already.
I do kind of want to point out that it's so funny that before we were asking, like, do something more with crew, give us, different styles that come with the skins the longer you're subscribed. And now that we're here, we're like, well, this is great.
Well, I don't think that was when we were thinking that, though. I do not think we were thinking, okay, give the same 4 styles to every single skin from now on.
But we were also asking, give those styles to the gear sets, and we also have that now.
But we barely have that, and we do. But even then. It's the same 4 styles. Like, I do not need 4 Galaxy.
But we got to give them a little credit. Like, they gave us what people were asking for, just not in the most ideal way.
Yeah. So it's better. Don't get me wrong. It is nice to have stuff, right? Every month when we log in. I don't know. I still subscribe every month. Do you still subscribe every month? We get a crap ton on the first. So it's nice. But I knew I was going to get tired of this after a while, and give it a few more months when I start receiving more of these, and I'll get a Galaxy skin, gold skin, blue skin, silver skin every single month. It's going to get old. But crew, that's a thing. What else?
I think that's it.
Any more? We were talking about skins, not the new stuff. We keep getting new emotes, right? The emote videos, because there's videos to teasing them, don't have the audio. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's a copyright thing? That's just so, like, a bug thing? It's kind of weird. But anyway, so yeah, they do like a cool emote, but there's no audio. But it does confirm some skins. I think we've had 4 skins confirmed now.
Mhm.
We had the not Razor. Is a Razor. You know, the one with the yellow hat, yellow pool beanie
Hello, Petey.
from way back. You know, it's what C-Day has. If you know, you know.
The guy with like the mouth bandana.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think it's something like Razor. That we're getting the raccoon.
Yep.
Raccoon.
Which I will say,
I'm excited to see what that looks like.
I have a hunch that the reason they are teasing a lot of these now is because the Lego trailer accidentally leaked a lot of them, because we had no idea these were coming until the Lego fishing trailer came out, or the image, or whatever it was that they did for fishing.
Well, I mean, they're almost. A few of them are what's it
Survey
called?
skins.
Survey skins. Like, we knew the raccoon was coming eventually. Actually, no. I think the raccoon was in the files. I think there was something related to the raccoon a while ago.
But the Lego thing came out, and then we were like, oh, what are all these new skins that we know nothing about? And then suddenly we get all these simple emote teasers that are teasing all these unreleased skins.
I know there's a Bright Bomber, and I think there's one more. But yeah, we got some new stuff coming. Just want to mention that with the skin section. The crew. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
So that's skins. So do I get into the crazy amount of not only lore, but actual gameplay and some hype, and maybe try to do some predictions? Because we are officially, it is Sunday. We are officially 5 days out.
It is
Chapter
indeed.
5, Season 2, which, by the way, I still can't believe we're in Chapter 5. How do you feel about that? Because you only started Chapter 2, but even then, near the later point, and clearly you have not been playing nearly as addictively as I have.
Yeah. So,
oh
goodness.
How do you feel about how far we've come?
I kind of liked it a little better when chapters themselves are longer, just because, you know, it set more of an era for Fortnite instead of it just being like, oh, year 5, year 6. It was actually like, oh, I played in chapter 2, and people can point out like, oh, I loved this season and that season because, you know, I was stuck inside all winter for that season. But now it's like, oh, Winterfest happened. Of course you were stuck inside.
Yeah. Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 are pretty much the same thing at this point. Which, sure, there's different stuff, don't get me wrong, but like, when you're saying like era, Chapter 1 is very different to Chapter 2, which is very different to Chapter 3.
But now we have 4 and 5 that are
5.
very similar to each other, because it kind of feels like they've been set into a cookie cutter mold, you know?
Yeah, it's just new chapter, new map, new this, new that. However, there's one part of this that I think is going to break. Do you want to talk about this first or last? Last, okay. So we have a lot of gameplay stuff coming up, right? How much have you seen?
In terms of what?
Like the gameplay, like attachments, some guns, this and that. So
I've seen a lot of the guns. I've not seen many of the attachment things, but I did see there's like a new DMR. We have a new shotgun as well, a new AR.
So I have Twitter pulled up. Let me quickly read. Hold up. Yeah, okay. I have a list of some mods, and then we can go into the 2 guns that we have. Sound like a plan?
Definitely.
Sure. So, weapon mods. We have fire bullets. They're fire bullets. Fire rate mod. Again, we don't know what any of these are. Like, if they're muzzle, underbarrel, if it's a secondary, like a whole new section for, like, crazy mods or what they can be put on. Fire rate mod. Headshot multiplier plus. Restore stamina on a hit. Automatic fire rate. Triple burst. Long barrel. Overload mag. I'm going to guess that's, like, a drum, like an extra mag, like, so instead of maybe 5 it adds like 15 or 20. I don't know. Muzzle breach, that can either just be like another recoil thing or like a flash, but flash isn't really that big of a deal in Fortnite, so I'm not too sure. And chance not to consume ammo. Anything crazy about that list? Like, they just kind of seem like augments just kind of thrown into
it's weird. It kind of seems like it's they're like augments and weapon mods mixed together.
It is, yeah.
Which is weird because, you know, we were supposed to get augments back at some point, but we just didn't.
But even when that was still a thing, we were still had stuff like this in the files for mods. So maybe it's just a code thing that they realized, augments weren't that big of a deal, we can just throw all augments into mods and make it easier on our end, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we have an upcoming tac shotgun. Stats could slightly change, but this is what Fortnite has been testing. This is all from Hypex, by the way. So the new tac, 6 bullets and reloads the whole clip at once. Reload time is at slow 4.2, at fast 3.6. Fire rate is 1. The hammer pump is 30% slower. However, I still think 1 is pretty slow for a tac. Can't remember right now. But yeah. Damage is going to be 79 at common, 97 legendary, and 119 headshot to 145. So, okay. Nothing too crazy. We'll see. DMR, though. This seems terrifying. DMR, so we have a magazine of 7, fire rate of 1.5, which is definitely fast. Only 7, which is pretty low, but that's because of the damage. 58 body shots, common, 70 legendary. Build damage is 63, 77, so it's 7 more or so. But the headshot damage, 102 common, 123 legendary. And a reload from 2.8 up to 2.1.
Dang.
So what do you think about that? Because you're definitely more the DMR player, and I feel like at this point, DMRs are just normal guns at this point, because the big difference was travel time, and now we have that on everything. Now they're viable.
Be horrifying.
That sounds 123 headshot with a 1.5 fire rate. That's not quite two. Okay, I was about to say that's not quite 2 times 2 shots and you're dead in 0 build, but guess what? We also have increased headshot multiplier attachment. What is that 123 gonna go into? 140?
Oh my word!
For a DMR,
dude, that is not okay.
I will say though, it's definitely been rough. Like the sniping this season has been rough, right? Just getting popped. However, it is refreshing versus just having a close SMG or shotgun meta, and that's the only good thing, right? Because even when we had the spray stuff, because we have the burst, right? The burst is crazy this season. We have the sniper on top of that, whereas before we didn't have anything. The ARs or the snipers or pistols were not able to keep up. So I know you haven't really carried a sniper, but I do think you can probably agree with me that it's a little refreshing having a little bit more variety.
Yeah.
Versus having what is this season? 27? 28?
That's a very
28
good
season
question.
in a row where it's shotgun AR or shotgun SMG for the meta. But, yes, so those are not confirmed. By the way, none of that's confirmed, but they're in the files. That makes sense with the new season coming up. What do we think about the new season, though, when it comes to gameplay for guns? For removed, added, this and that.
I don't know. This is tough because usually, we have a baseline, like, oh, these weapons are obviously going to stay and these ones are going to go. As of now, I think the only one that I would say is almost a surefire going to go is the auto we have now.
The Frenzy?
Yeah, Frenzy.
Yeah, honestly, I see that too, and is that because of the Frenzy or because of the fact that we have attack in the files?
Both. The Frenzy, not only is it modeled specifically for this season with the spray paints and stuff on it, but also because we have a replacement that would fill the slot of a fast-firing shotgun.
I would not be mad if we lost this Frenzy. Yeah. I think, I do want to say, I know we're going to talk about this in a different episode. I just haven't liked a lot of the aspects of the season, including the guns, because not that they're super terrible, it's just like the reload speed, the equip time, all like the swap time, all these parts just feel so abysmal this season. And the Frenzy, it feels like I don't start firing when I click my gun, my trigger half the time.
Yeah, it's
but when you do, it's crazy. But yeah, it's just, and that's a lot of guns. Like that's a lot. And when I go into creative and I use the other stuff, it's the same. So it's definitely these weapons, and I think the attachments are definitely messing things up in the backlog like that. But yeah, not super big fan. So I'm excited to see something like the tac shotgun with mods versus just a drum shotgun.
I could very much see the hammer pump carrying over, but I'm not sure if they would have a replacement for it. It's obviously it's a pump, right? We've had many many renditions of the pump. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ready to let go of this one quite yet, or if they're going to try and kind of keep the pump as the shotgun for this chapter.
So here's another hard part now, though. When we're thinking about this, we can't just say that, because if they do replace something, they have to make a new one practically, because it's going to need attachments. So if we do get a pump, we can't get the pump. We can't get the sharp tooth. We can't get the prime. It would practically have to be a brand new gun.
Did you see they updated a bunch of them for attachments?
I know they did update, but like we haven't seen that, and like it's going to be weird, because I feel like, because here's the other thing that I really hope they're going to think about, but I'm not sure if they're going to. Keeping everyone happy and not touching these guns so much, because like I said, I do think these attachments are messing up these guns a lot, that they mess up the ones in creative, that even if you use it without attachments, it doesn't feel so different and bad when I just want to use my pump.
I mean, I know it's probably more complex than this in the files, but it'd be nice if they could add like a toggle for attachments. So like in my creative game, I could toggle attachments on or off. That way I decide whether guns use them or don't. That way, all guns would have the option of attachments, but only if I toggle that on.
That'd be nice, but yeah, definitely probably a little bit more complex, because here's the thing that we don't know. Are they changing the routes? Are they copying this, that? It's really hard and we don't know. But yeah, so that's that. The pump, yeah, I think it's going to stay. Frenzy, yeah, that's going to change. DMR, so do you think that's going to change the Enforcer, and we're going to keep the Striker and Nemesis maybe? But I think the Nemesis I could also see going, because that does feel more like this season than a generic
I
AR.
feel like out of any of them, the Enforcer would stay, just because not only is that the one we had for the least amount of time this season, given it's only like a couple of weeks even though, but I think it's the most versatile between everything, right? It's not like a super fast firing, but it's also not a super slow firing. It has that range, but it's not like far as a sniper.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, like I said, I think the Striker is probably the best bet for staying the same for the whole chapter. SMG, what are you thinking about that? Because, like you said, the burst is also very themed towards the season with the wrap.
So I would say the burst is going to go.
I don't want the burst to leave, but I also want the burst to leave.
I think it's gone. I honestly think that's the one to go out of all the SMGs. I think good chance the pistol's staying, because it feels like every chapter we're going to get a new pistol, and I feel like this is just the one that we have right now, so I feel like the pistol's staying. Yeah. In terms of the other SMG, what's it called?
Hyper?
Yeah, Hyper SMG. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that one? I'm not sure on that.
I love the Mythic. I still think I like the Mythic more than the Burst. However, just because I've been playing more competitively, I've been picking up the Burst because it is good. It's also really annoying. And I'm just happy there's no hit scan with that, because imagine that with hit scan. That is, I'm quite literally I killed that. I showed you that one clip where I killed that banana, right? 2 bursts, just dead, just instantly dead. However, here's what I'm worried about. If we get the burst attachment, will that have the same bug where if we put a laser on, it's going to give us that precise, 0 bloom hip fire? Because I think that's been the problem, right? The burst isn't necessarily broken. It's the fact that when you put hip scan on, or the laser, the hip laser or whatever, it makes it perfect bloom. And if we add that to a burst weapon, it doesn't really matter that it's burst. It definitely makes it stronger, though, because you get those shots off faster. Yeah. So we'll see, because here's the thing. I could totally just throw the burst attachment on and the hip fire on my hyper, depending on what the attachments we get, which is also making it harder to predict what we get, because we really could just have one AR, one shotgun, one SMG, and we could totally just change the pump to add a magazine and fire rate.
Yeah.
Which I don't want, right? But they could. So it makes it a little harder to be let's get new stuff when we can just add attachments to the already existing guns. Yeah. Sniper. I think it's staying. I don't think we're going to get a new one. I don't think it's going to change.
I don't see why we
maybe
would
headshot
need a new one,
multiplier.
honestly.
Yeah.
I will say, one quick note I do want to make, since we're on the topic of weapons. I really don't like what they've been doing, how, obviously there are weapons this season where we know they're going to leave because of their models, but they're so similar to weapons we've had in the past that it's like, why would you even make a new weapon at that point, right? Like, if you're going...
I know what you're talking about. Like, you quite literally have people overlapping these guns. It's like, it's the same model, just with an extra, like, handle or something.
And it's like the stats are so similar as well. It's like, you could have just brought back this weapon, made people who liked that weapon happy, and, you know, added a sense of familiarity to the game. But instead, you decided, let's put in the work to make an entirely new weapon, new model, add new features to it, make the stats just a tiny bit different, and then also make it themed to this season so that we can't use it again in the future.
It's rough.
It doesn't make sense to me.
And then let's end with this, and we can use this to transition into the next part, mobility. And I'll explain what I mean when we talk about this season first. So this season, we have the grapple blade. Think that's staying?
Probably.
I think it's going to leave. It just doesn't really feel like one of those permanent type of things versus something like a shockwave, especially when we have shockwaves. It's a little rough right now that we lost the TMNT stuff. There's no more driftboard. There's no more mythics. So mobility's scarce. And I like using the Flowberry Fizz as mobility, but it's also like that delay when you first start using it. It's kind of long. But here's where I want to transition into the new stuff that we do kind of know or theorizing. We can get some really fun mobility and mythics, which I don't think we really have to talk about mythics. They're all going to leave, right? Based on the battle pass. I just hope we get fun mythics and some mythics that are deal with mobility. And do you want to transition to what I'm talking about for the people that have been living under a rock?
Sure. So we know what next season is, everybody.
Wings.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the sky.
It's the Wings season.
Wing X, the Wings Club. That was a great show. I know you don't know what I'm talking
Zero
about.
idea.
For the people that do, you're probably making fun of me, and that's okay.
Anyways, so I guess we should kind of explain that joke. We got our word for the next season from what's his face? What's his name?
Mark
Rain.
Mark Rober.
Yeah,
Rain,
Mark
yep.
Rain. He
Something
gave
like
us his word. He always gives a word to describe the next season of Fortnite, and this one he gave was wings. And there are many theories on what it could mean, but, you know...
Wait, umbrella is actually wings?
That'd be cool, honestly, but unlikely.
Honestly. But yeah, no, it's, what exactly is the theme? Odyssey? Great. I think that's what we're generally going as for the name of
like the working title for us who don't know what the actual title is. That'd be really cool. I'd love that title, not just because my favorite game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but because I feel like that'd be such a cool thing to say. Like, oh, what's your favorite season of Fortnite? Fortnite Odyssey.
Flipped. Last Chance.
Fortnite Odyssey. That sounds so cool. Can't even.
But what exactly is Odyssey? Because that's still not really explaining anything. We're talking about wings and Odyssey. That's very generic
That would be Greek mythology.
Theoretically. I'm going to, for right now, because we still don't know exactly who, we definitely have theories. I'm just going to say mythology and not specify to Greek. It's definitely more toward the Greek until we get confirmation like we actually see it in game.
I will say, out of all of our survey skins, there's none that really fit Norse quite as well. Like, there's some that could draw connections, but all the ones that are Greek are very obviously drawn to Greek.
Yeah, it's very much more towards Greek. Like I said, just with Fortnite, I like to wait till it happens. So until I actually see Greek, I'm going to just say mythology.
Especially the use of the name Odyssey is heavily connected to Greek rather than Norse.
Yeah. So, anyway, mythology, great. And before we start talking about the specifics, let's talk about why. So, because again, if you've been listening for a while, you know JJ's the optimistic one and I'm the realistic, right? Like, I've clearly seen that Fortnite's been struggling and I'm not getting excited for caring as much. There's a very valid reason why I'm excited, right, JJ? And who might that be?
Yes.
Who might it be?
Yes.
Yes? Billy?
Pretty much.
Billy Joel? No, dang it, now you're making me blank. Screw you. Hold up, I'm gonna tell the name. You have 30 seconds to talk. That's not talking, my G.
What?
You're supposed to talk. I was say something.
Feeling... Okay, whatever.
Because I know I have this bookmarked.
You have it bookmarked, my guy?
Yeah, the name.
Okay.
because we haven't seen him do anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for him
Time
to
is
do
passing.
stuff.
Almost there. Do you got it?
Is time passing? I don't. Charlie
There
Wu.
you go.
And guess what? That's actually crazy because I didn't even find the tweet. I just remembered because I knew the name. Charlie Wu.
Charlie Wang.
Now, what did Charlie Wu do?
Isn't it Charlie Wang?
Charlie Wang? Is it Charlie
I think it's
Wang?
Charlie.
I just say Charlie. I don't even see the last
Mr.
name.
Charlie, Chief Creative Director.
Mr. Charlie. What did he do? Let's see what he did. He worked on Ant-Man, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Avengers, whole bunch of stuff, right? That's pretty cool. But what else did he do, JJ? He not only did he worked on God of War 1 and God of War 2 and created Kratos. So he knows what he's talking about.
He knows mythology pretty well, especially because God of War has not only dealt in Norse mythology, but also heavily Greek mythology as well. It's kind of that franchise that mixes the two together. And I'm very thrilled to see where he takes this, because this one I can definitely tell is one that he has had his hands on because of, what he has experience in and how this is going so far.
Versus Missing Banana.
I'm very excited to
Quest,
see how he interacts with this.
Yeah. So I'm actually very optimistic, and that's why I'm a little excited to theorize and think about this. Let's get into the mythics, right? Because we're not going to talk about too many specific mythics. However, compared to the last few seasons where just like, oh, Peter Griffin's shotgun, Valeria's, I feel like I've seen a lot of people talk about we can get mythics like Chapter 2, Season 4, the Marvel season, but the Greek god's power.
Which could be
awesome.
really
Cool.
Like imagine
like a lightning bolt.
Imagine a mythic that you just have in your inventory that's like Hermes themed, where you get unlimited sprint and increased movement speed just while it's in your inventory.
What about with the wings, right? Just infinite glider replay.
Yeah.
Like just a mythic. But what makes it, and here's an interesting part that I think we can think about with these medallions, right? We can either get mythics that are in our inventory, like the boots, right? Like the Spire boots, like for mobility. Or what if you get mythics, abilities that are passive, like with glider redeploy, but that is the medallion for that boss.
That would be so overpowered.
So it would be overpowered, don't get me wrong. I don't want that, but we have to keep that in mind because we know they want to add more stuff to medallions other than just shield regen. We never got it this season.
If they do that, then it has to be completely passive abilities that have nothing to do with fighting, right? Because all of the medallions thus far, like, they all do the same thing, and it's regen, right? It gives you regen and obviously marks you. If they go down this route where it's a medallion-themed item, it would have to be something along the lines of maybe increased movement speed, maybe it gives you additional shield, maybe it gives you glider redeploy, but it can be nothing to do with, like, your guns themselves, right? It couldn't be able to increase damage. That seems excessive. Maybe
not?
Because that's... No.
I mean, shield regen already deals with fighting.
Well, I didn't say it doesn't deal with fight. This is Fortnite, Seth. Everything deals with fighting. That's the whole point of the game.
Exactly. But that's why I'm confused. Like, they could deal with damage. Like, I'm thinking, what if we get
guns?
like lightning bolts?
I'm thinking nothing that directly affects your guns, because we're going to have mods that are affecting your guns, right? So on top of that, having medallions that affect your guns, I don't think that makes much sense. So I'm thinking if they go down this route, it would likely have to be something more either traversal or just like a kind of static effect in the background that isn't completely affecting just fighting.
I mean, we know there's going to be super shield, right? Something on top of that was supposed to change. Or the medallions were supposed to give you more shield, right?
Were they?
Yeah. They were supposed to give you more shield than the 100. There's a lot of stuff. So we can get something like that, There's a lot of options. I'm really excited, but that definitely adds to a lot more of the dynamicness of the season if we can get medallions on top of these mythic abilities and pair them. Like, imagine comparing your glider redeploy with your Zeus lightning bolt, which here's another thing that we were talking about before. What if these mythic abilities are also dual use, like the TMNT thing, where we have a cool... I'm thinking Zeus is like Thor's hammer, right? We ground pound, we shoot a lightning bolt, or you can also shoot yourself up with a lightning bolt. Just like the staff or all the TMNT mythics. Because imagine pairing that with glider redeploy from like medallion.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And honestly, I don't think that's super far-fetched because we don't have augments. This is how you're giving us that fun chaos.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we had augments that gave you, like, infinite balloons or soaring sprints. Is it really far off to get just infinite glider redeploy from a medallion or something?
I think that makes sense. My only fear is, once you stack all those together, that's going to be highly OP. As we had medallions this season that, caused you to regen a lot of shield. And as soon as the season started, they nerfed those right away down to, they not only does it take longer to start regenning, it regens slower and regens less. But if they go down this route, they can't nerf glider redeploy unless they add like a limit to how many times you can do it.
I was about to say how many uses it could have.
But then what? You're going to have a medallion in your inventory that's like empty of power? So
that's the other thing, though, that I'm wondering with augments and medallions. They can change the way medallions work and not just do one per boss. What if it's like mythics where you are like the old mythics where they're coming from chests or something like that, like ODM gear?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking like this could be a really fun and chaotic season for pubs. Just how much chaos we can have.
Yeah.
In the most fun way and not just some really ratty or annoying way. Like these could be really fun and chaotic. Mm-hmm. That's a thing. Let's talk about story. Because we don't really know too much for gameplay. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
So story. There's some story going on, right? Again, do you want to explain to the people that might have been living under a rock what's been happening?
So during this past, 3 days?
Almost technically like a week.
I guess.
Because we thought it was going to happen, and then it didn't happen, and then it thought it was going to happen, and this lava.
We've had a gradual kind of in-game actual live event happening, right? We've had cracks in the ground that have gradually been growing bigger with small earthquakes about every hour. And as this is happening, you see players looking at this big crater, and finally, yesterday...
After filling with lava, right? Because there's been multiple stages, so each crack was filled with lavas.
Yesterday, a gigantic titan hand, some like magma titan hand, erupted out of the ground, holding a chest, which it then dropped down on a chain, and all of us collectively came together and broke down this chest
with 5 trillion
each 5 trillion HP. Apparently, by the end, though, each pickaxe hit did like 1,500 damage, so... it didn't take uber long. But we dropped this chest down, which is apparently Pandora's box, but it opened up, erupted with a tornado of what looks like damned souls coming out of this chest. There's also a gem on the chest showing us constellations that we can link back to each of the skins that are theorized to be the battle pass of next season.
So there's a lot. So with the battle pass, there is 8. And that's another reason why we're thinking that, because there's 8. And that kind of lines up. The gem, I've heard different things. I've heard that it would look like an eye. What do you think? It might just be one of the constellations that people were like, oh, it kind of looks like an eye during this constellation. I don't know. Just, again, many different theories on the internet right now, because we don't really know. But yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier with the Save the World thing. In the tornado, it's Save the World husks in hands. Just some copied assets. Of course, it could mean something. But yeah, so that's all we currently know, except for a few lines of dialogue. There's some dialogue that you had, right?
I didn't have it pull up. Do I need to pull that out?
Well, I didn't check it out because I've been playing Rant, so I haven't really seen it.
Yeah, okay.
Let me
pull that. I didn't.
I'll talk about some theories that I saw with this chest. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
So I did see, with Pandora's box, there's obviously lore and knowledge about this. And I saw one theory specifically, where after the chains of Pandora's box will be broken, the evils Zeus contained in this vessel will once born be free. Once it closes, only one thing will remain inside: hope. Keep an eye on hope. And that's the skin from this season. And when you actually talk to Odyssey, which I do want to talk about the skin later on, when she says, hope, the whispers were true. So, and I've seen a lot of other people and some other tweets, it's like, don't worry about all the Battle Pass skins because they're not going to be relevant, because generally they're not. But hope could possibly be pretty important next season, the skin.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
No.
Okay, I want to talk about Odyssey quickly. So Odyssey is an NPC at Ruin Reels, and we just thought it looks kind of cool. I've heard a lot of people talk like the color scheme or the outfit reminds me of the Oathbound, like Geno, the age, all that kind of stuff. I don't see it, but that's something that I've seen. However, we do now know, based on the files, this is not 100% confirmed, Odyssey is actually the ranked reward next season. We're also obviously going to probably have an umbrella for ranked cups again, which I'm excited for. But what's going to happen is instead of just another backbling or something, you're going to earn a skin for free. And depending on what rank you get by the end of the season, that's going to change your armor. And I'm hoping that maybe you can choose some armor that you take on and off, and then also choose the color of the rank that you can use. Because I don't really want to use champion if I get stuck at champion or something like that. Or if I want to use champion after Unreal, there is no possible way to get that. So we'll see how it goes. I think since it's a skin, we have a better chance than like the glider or something.
I'm struggling here.
How's that?
I thought it was FN Assist that had it, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to summarize from memory what it was.
Summarize. Go for it.
So as you go around collecting mosaic pieces for Odyssey, she's basically telling us a few different things about, what the medallions are. She told us that the medallions are actually like ancient magical artifacts, kind of in vein with the whole Greek mythology theme, because she is wearing
so
kind
Peter
of like
is
a
an
Greek
ancient
theme
god
armor.
because there's a Peter medallion. Yeah. So Peter is.
She says they
a
used
Greek
like
god.
a form of ancient magic, and she doesn't quite know what it is, but from what I understand, it involves Valera as well, because Valera is seeking this magic in these medallions, but doesn't know the dangers of it, I believe is what she said.
Okay.
But she said she was...
That's why I did see that skin. That was also saying with Hope Valeria. I didn't know about that. That's probably why.
But she said she was running tests on them, but she wouldn't be able to tell us, the result before it was too late, quote. So apparently we won't know anything more until next season. But, we collected all of these mosaic pieces. We now have, a loading screen showing a bunch of spirits and Cerberus in what looks like Hades, I'm assuming.
Maybe. We don't really know.
Yep. But we got all that done.
So,
that's cool. We're excited to see where that goes, because obviously that kind of implies that medallions are going to carry over in some way, shape, or form, because they are part of this mysterious magic that will be a part of next season.
That's also why I was thinking, because I did know that part, because I was doing some quests today, and that's also why I was thinking of the medallions being more than just one per boss, because if that's what like the medallions are, what if the mosaic pieces themselves, there's bigger chunks out there? We don't really know. Yeah. But maybe there could be more spread throughout the map with abilities. There's definitely more hype, right? There's going to be stuff happening. But honestly, other than the Hope thing, have you really seen or know anything else?
Nope, not really, no.
Because if we had a logical season this season, we could. But we really went from Peely missing, nothing happening, they're losing, and then we were running out with Peely. That is the entire season. So there's nothing to really base off of saving Peely from these people to opening Pandora's box and releasing the souls of the damned and sickness to then destroy the island and unleash the Greek pantheon.
Yep. This is Fortnite, everybody.
That's what's happening. That is confirmed what's happening. However, I do not know how to process that to really think about it. So next season, I think we're going to be theorizing a lot throughout the season. Like, I do really have a lot of hope. As of right now, though, there's stuff happening, but we don't know so far. We talked about the mythics, talked about some guns, the map. Do you want to talk like a minute for the map?
I have zero ideas what could happen, honestly.
I mean, I can see maybe like huge thing in the middle, like where Pandora's box is. I can see like a big thing there, either at the lake or ruin. Or I can see, if we're going back to like the Greek pantheon, I could also see ruined reals maybe being rebuilt.
Yeah, I'd be excited for some more kind of like almost polished, clean-looking POIs, like maybe something made of marble, because going with their trend, right? This is kind of a tech demo for Unreal Engine. They'd want to show off reflections and stuff like that. So having something with more reflective surfaces would make a lot of sense.
So I'm excited. This will be next week. I'll be streaming it. JJ, are you going to try to stream it?
I will try, yeah.
Because I know you said you're sick next week.
I'm totally sick.
So yeah, I'm gonna be streaming it both Friday and Saturday. However, Friday I do work till like noon, so we'll see. Anyway, subscribe, hit the bell, notified when we have so many more over the next 2 weeks. Make sure you also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nerd Rant Podcast, and hit the link in the description for our link tree to join our Discord and talk about the podcast.
Absolutely.
And JJ, you have 5 seconds.
Bye,
Go.
everybody. We hope you enjoyed, and we will see you all in the next one. Peace.
Bye.